Namaskar. Welcome to this edition of News Bulletin in the headlines today. Let's be prepared to meet all challenges, says CEO RSP in annual business planning meeting. And enterprising endeavour of Shops Foundries Collective of Sale Rourkela Steel Plant saves rupees 75 lakhs for the company.
Passenger elevator inaugurated in new coke crushing unit of RMHP. And long service awards presented at Communication Engineering Department.
Speed in decision making, action and implementation is the need of the day, Mr. Deepak Chattaras, CEO, Rourkela Steel Plant, says to the newly promoted Chief General Managers. Program on HR Initiative Seva organized at SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant. And Long Service Awards presented at Shops, Mechanical and PCS Department.
Now the news in detail. Let's be prepared to meet all challenges, said Mr. Deepak Chatraj, CEO RSP, while addressing the senior executives in a review meeting held in a blended mode on 22nd February. Mr. Pankaj Kumar, ED Projects, with additional charge of ED Works, Mr. C.R. Mahapatra, CGM in charge and Marketing, Mr. Praveen Nigam, CGM F&A, Dr. B. Hota, Chief Medical Officer and other Chief General Managers attended the meeting at CEO Conference Hall. Other senior officers and heads of departments joined the meeting online. The CEO expressed his concern over the recent surge in COVID-19 cases reported in some of the Indian states and called upon all concerned to remain well prepared so as to meet with eventualities, if any. He emphasized upon preparedness for effective identification, isolation, and treatment. The CEO urged all heads of departments to influence upon the employees for adhering to the relevant government guidelines and adopting the COVID-appropriate behaviors. Referring to the present situation and future uncertainties, the CEO advised all to leave no stone unturned to meet the performance targets and also to sustain the tempo at which RSP has been functioning, making it the best performing unit in SAIL in spite of all odds. During the meeting, the production performance was reviewed and presentations were made on production targets, techno-economic parameters, product mix and financial targets, etc. for the coming financial year 2021-22. The committed employees of Shops Foundries Unit of SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant RSP, have successfully cast the modified slag pot with tunion ring for Steel Melting Shop 2. This enterprising venture has resulted in direct financial saving of rupees 75 lakhs for the company. It would have cost the company rupees 1.2 crores if purchased from the market. It may be noted that the slag pots are used in blast furnace and steel melting shop 1 for transferring and dumping of slag generated during iron and steel making processes. The pots get damaged gradually due to severe thrust load during dumping of solidifying material. As a result, the pots become unserviceable after some years. The shop's foundries collective took up the challenge and decided to make the slag pot of 11-meter cube in a single piece along with trunnion ring. Accordingly, the slag pot was cast in the foundries department as per to the sizes of the pots. Thereafter, it will be welded with bottom disc at the structural and fabrication shop. With this reconditioning, full service life of pots will be achieved once again. This remarkable feat was achieved under the guidance of Mr. M. Ravichandran, GM in charge, Foundries, Mr. Shekhar Narayan, GM Mechanical Shop, and Mr. B.D. Thada, Senior Manager, Foundries Operation. The job was carried out by Mr. Sukra Gowda, Senior Operatives, Mr. B. Soren, Senior Operatives, Mr. C.R. Mahanta, Senior Operatives, Mr. P.K. Lenka, Senior Operatives, Mr. K.C. Gowda, Senior Operatives, Mr. K. Tirki, Senior Operator, Mr. S.K. Pradhan, Senior Operator, and other employees. It is worth mentioning that the jobs involved a lot of machining work using in-house resources without any outside help, and successful completion of the same has enhanced the confidence level of employees to take up more such projects.
Passenger elevator with state-of-the-art technology was inaugurated by Mr. Aravinda Mishra, CGM, RMHP, at the new coke crushing unit of RMHP of Rourkela Steel Plant on 23rd February. Present on the occasion were Mr. A.V. Rajshekhar, CGM Mechanical, Mr. S.S. Roy Chaudhary, GM in charge Operation, RMHP, Mr. Bimal Kumar BC, GM in charge Design Department, Mr. M.K. Giri, GM Electrical, Mr. Avkash Behra, GM Electrical, and other senior officers of RMHP. It may be noted that the new coke crushing unit of RMHP is very vital for preparation of base mix. The connected equipments are installed at different levels, heights. The equipments like vibro feeders, crushers, and LT motors are distributed in and around different floors at various heights. Monitoring is done round the clock for this unit. Besides this, more than 10 persons attend housekeeping, cleaning, inspection, and periodic maintenance at different floors in G shift and other shifts regularly. Belt maintenance and jointing activities are done as per requirement in addition to above. In view of this, there was a need of a passenger lift for improvement of systems and production. Accordingly, an elevator was installed with a capacity of 800 kg. The job was executed by MS Arohi Elevators Private Limited, and the electrical work was carried out by the electrical department of RMHP through AMR sanction. This would facilitate the movement of both people and goods. Because of the new facility, at least half an hour time will be saved in attending each and every breakdown. This would in turn improve the overall performance of the unit and enhance the quality of base mix for sintering plant. Besides, monitoring, inspection and periodic maintenance of the equipment will lead to elimination of unforeseen breakdowns. In a program organized at the Communication Engineering Department of RSP on 24th February, Ms. Sumita Bhattacharya, GM, CED, presented the service certificates to 12 employees for rendering 25 years of service to the company. The program was coordinated by Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Behra, Deputy Manager Personnel. It is worth mentioning here that the Long Service Awards are being presented every year to the employees who complete 25 years of service in the company as recognition of their committed service. It comprises a certificate of recognition and a stainless steel dinner set as a token gift of appreciation.
Speed in decision making, action and implementation is the need of the day, said Mr. Deepak Chattara, CEO, Rourkela Steel Plant, while handing over the promotion orders to the newly promoted Chief General Managers in a function organized at the Manthan Conference Hall on 24th February 2021. It is worth mentioning here that 16 General Managers of the plant have been promoted to the post of Chief General Managers. They received their promotion orders along with their spouses. Mr. Rasbir Singh, EDPNA, Mr. Pankaj Kumar, ED Projects with the additional charge of ED Works, Mr. C.R. Mahapatra, GM in charge, MM and Marketing, Mr. Praveen Nigam, CGM, FNA, and many other senior officers were present on the occasion. Congratulating the newly promoted senior officers, the CEO further said, "You need to identify the priorities and act upon them relentlessly so as to achieve excellence consistently." The other senior officials also congratulated the newly promoted CGMs and wished them a bright future in the organization. The promoted executives with their new assignments are Mr. Susanta Kumar Nayak, CGM FNA, Mr. Sharup Kumar Panigrahi, CGM BE and Hospital Administration, Ms. Rajashri Banerjee, CGM HRD, Mr. S.S. Rai Chaudhary, CGM RMHP, Mr. R.N. Rajendran, CGM Shops, Mr. P.K. Mahapatra, CGM Internal Audit, Mr. Amarendra Nath Mishra, CGM Projects, Mr. Bimal Kumar BC, Design and CES, Mr. M.K. Mahanti, CGM Electrical, Mr. Asim Kumar Behera, CGM Safety and Fire Services, Mr. B. Sunil Karta, CGM Power, Mr. Sudeep Pal Chaudhary, CGM Instrumentation and Automation, Mr. Pinaki Chaudhary, CGM New Plate Mill, and Dr. Narayan Prasad Sahu, CMO Medical. Mr. Bipin Krishna Sartape has been posted as CGM CNA in BSL Bokaro, and Mr. Srikanta Panda has been posted as CGM CFA SP Chandrapur. The promoted executives responded enthusiastically and assured that they would make every possible effort to better the performance of the steel plant. The spouses of the newly promoted senior officers also shared their thoughts on the occasion. A workshop on SEVA, an HR initiative for sensitizing frontline employees on HR services and policies of the company, was organized on 20th February at Personnel Conference Hall of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant. In all, 16 frontline executives and in charges from various departments of RSP attended the program in 2 batches. The workshop aimed at equipping the shift in charges and frontline executives with the nuances of HR functions and establishment services as part of knowledge sharing and to further improve employee services. Presentations were made on factors influencing employee behavior at the workplace, HR services, including details on HR policy, standing order provisions, disciplinary rules, procedures, and establishment rules and services by Mr. N.C. Panda, DGM Personnel, OD, and Mr. S.K. Deo, DGM Personnel. The program was coordinated by Mr. Somadatta Tripathi, Deputy Manager, Personnel. In a program organized at the Shops, Mechanical and PCS Department of SAIL RSP on 19 February, Mr. Shekhar Narayan, GM Shops Mechanical, presented the service certificates to 4 employees for rendering 25 years of service to the company. The program was coordinated by Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Behera, Deputy Manager, Personnel. It may be mentioned that around 900 employees, including executives, are eligible for the Long Service Award in RSP who have completed 25 years of service as on 31st December 2020. The award is presented every year. The company recognizes their contributions by presenting a certificate of recognition and a stainless steel dinner set as token gift. At the end, we would like to remind our viewers about the rising number of corona cases in the country. We must continue to safeguard ourselves against the deadly disease by adhering to the COVID-19 guidelines like frequent washing and sanitization of hands, maintaining social distance and wearing masks when going out. With this, we wrap up the edition of today's news bulletin. Namaskar.